In lesson 4 of the unit, you're going to be looking at one of the big focus questions. What are the qualities of real life adventurers? This lesson is quite involved and will take you quite a few days probably, because you're going to be reading several pieces of nonfiction work. So at the very beginning, you're going to have a worksheet that you can complete. You read the excerpt, and then you fill in the chart about the adventure that was attempted, the skills that are needed for that adventure, and then the fears that they had to overcome in order to do that. Page 4 just gives you some general information about what you should be doing before, during, and after you read these articles, because you're going to be reading several and it can apply to all of them. Page 5 gives us some information about strategies to use when reading an article, because it's different than when you're reading a story. Page 6, here's our list. We've got 5 different nonfiction pieces here. Note, the bottom one is excellent. And our traditional walrus hunt is mandatory because we want to get in our First Nations, Inuit, and Métis content. So you must do the second one, our traditional walrus hunt. Down at the bottom you'll see that it tells us you can differentiate. If that's just too many to do for you, then pick 2 or 3 instead of doing all 5. Then go ahead and fill in the chart. You'll have to make the chart first, as it says, and then complete it for each of the readings that you do. The next pages are the stories themselves. Hopefully they're readable. We got them from various sources and could cite those sources and get the permission. So this is our traditional walrus hunt. Then you've got the maiden voyage, and one throw, the ordeal on Mount Johnson, and here we are at the next page, checking out to see if you use the strategies that we were talked about, and rating yourself on how often you use them or if you had to use them. Okay. Then we've got a little bit of skill set in scanning the article, and then we're going to talk about the dash. The dash is I think, a really important tool to use and you have in your writing arsenal. I maybe even tend to overuse it. But you'll learn the rules about how to use it well. You've got a practice page to complete on the dash. And then we talk about verbs, the main part of any sentence, the doer. And again, here, like that lesson 2, there's quite a lot of reading, and hopefully the explanation is clear, but this will probably be review for you. Here at the top of page 27, we talk about some overused words and trying to create and use strong verbs, selecting them wisely. And then we'll look back at the personal narrative you wrote to look for the verbs on it, another differentiating activity, and evaluating. You're going to complete the worksheet that follows on verbs and vivid verbs. And then you have your final checklist of activities. So again, quite an involved, lengthy lesson with lots of reading, but they're all true life, and I think you will enjoy reading these stories a lot.